But how do we really define a political dynasty?
Joining us today via Zoom is Attorney Michael Yusinko, Senior Research Fellow at the Ateneo Policy Center. Good morning and
welcome
it's nice to
back.
see you again.
Good morning to both of you at good morning to everyone listening now.
Oo. Very, kasi, ito yung usapin ng political dynasty. Talaga, napakalalim nito, no? Pagdating dito sa Pilipinas. Your reaction muna, Attorney, dito sa sinabi ni Senator Cynthia Villar na sabi niya about political dynasty na as long as naman binoboto sila ng tao at they serve the people for the greater good, okay lang daw.
Well, first of all, I don't trust actually any justification about political dynasties that come from a dynasty politician.
Yeah.
So let me put it out there, no. But in fairness to her, let's unpack what she said. No? So unang-una, tama naman siya na binoboto sila, no. Binoboto sila ng tao, and that's actually the main problem now is bakit pa rin sila binoboto ng mga tao despite the knowledge na nakakasama sila sa demokrasya natin. So yun yung unang bahagi ng kanyang sinabi. Yung isa pang bahagi is yung kung naglilingkod naman sila sa tao, no? Marami tayong pwedeng ibalik doon because that's actually a very disputable assertion, ano, na disputable with data, no? So marami na tayong mga data na nagpapakita na nakakasama sa politika, sa ekonomiya, yung pamamayagpag ng mga political dynasties. So, on that front, doon medyo we will dispute that assertion.
Yeah.
But the first one, yun, may katotohanan yun at yun talaga ang problema natin ngayon. Bakit binoboto pa rin sila ng mga tao?
Pero attorney, parang for me, my opinion on that is parang it doesn't sit well saying na kasalanan ng tao binoto. Well, in essence, it is true, but the problem here is, kung may political dynasty, let's take siguro, kunyari, Parañaque, isang buong pamilya nandun, sa congressman, mayor, so walang magtatangkang tatakbo because alam nilang babanggain nila isang malaking pamilya. Therefore, yung choices ng public, lumiliit. Diba? Parang, ba't ko pa boboto to? Hindi naman mananalo to. For sure, ito naman sila mananalo. Boboto ko na lang to. So, kumbaga, in other words, binoto ka, pero it's because hindi mo sila binigyan ng proper choices.
No, you're exactly correct. No, that's really one of the reasons, just one of the reasons kung bakit namamayagpag pa rin ng mga dynasty sa election because wala nang choice yung tao kaya nga ang sinasabi natin, political dynasties are inherently undemocratic.
Yes.
Precisely because they choke the electoral process, no? Nawawala na ng choice yung taong bayan. But let me just make a clarification, Diego, kasi ang ganda na sinabi mo na hindi mo naman dapat sisisihin yung tao o yung botante. You are 100% correct, no? Hindi dapat sinisisi yung botante. And in fact, in the process of trying to end the domination of political dynasties, we have to understand why voters are still voting for them. No? Hindi sila sisihin. But uunawain, saan ba sila? Where are they now, yung mga botante? No? Bakit sila? Why do they feel, for example, that they don't have any choice? And paano mo sila, how do you address that kind of helplessness? So hindi dapat talaga sisihin yung mga botante. Yung tatawagin silang bobotante and all of that. Hindi dapat ganun, no? Ang project, if I might call it that way, is to understand why voters are still voting for political dynasties despite evidence in front of them, both academic evidence and anecdotal evidence and experiential evidence nagsasabing nakakasama ang mga dinastiya sa politika at sa gobyerno.
Pero in relation to that question, Angel, before I'd like to once and for all, Prof, no? There's been debate as to what is the definition of a dynasty. Considered ba dynasty? Kunyari, may senador ka, may party list ka, which are both national in essence, or yung essence of the description of political dynasty na that's supposed to be in the Constitution minus an IRR or minus guidelines should be those who are running, let's say, who control a political or a local area at may mayor ka, may vice mayor, may congressman, meron kang councilor, all in one city or in one geographical location.
Oh, idagdag ko lang dun sa question ni Diego. Of course, you have Senatorial Ben Tulfo saying na hindi naman sila galing sa political dynasty. So, maalam siguro natin malaman ngayon from you, no? Ano ba yung sinasabi ano ba yung political dynasty? Ano ba yung sinasabi ng konstitusyon natin dito?
So that's a very good question. No? So let's be nuanced about this. No? So from the common sense perspective, pag sinabi mong political dynasty, common sense will tell you, pag marami kayo at sabay-sabay kayong either tumatakbo or nasa pwesto, more than two. Pag more than two kayo in a family, common sense will say dynasty kayo, political dynasty kayo. Diba? So that's the common sense perspective. Now, from the technical perspective, well, susundan natin yung ginawa nung dati naming dean sa Ateneo Policy Center, tsaka nung mga colleagues ko doon, meron silang ginawang categories. No? Yung isa, Thin Dynasty. Ito yung sunod-sunod lang kayo. Yung ama, papalitan ng anak, tapos yung anak, papalitan ng apo. That is the Thin Dynasty. The second category is yung tinatawag namin na Fat Dynasty. Ito yung sabay-sabay kayo. So, sabay-sabay kayong tumatakbo, sabay-sabay kayong nasa pwesto. So, ang best example dyan is si President Marcos, yung pinsan niya, Speaker of the House. Meron siyang sister na senador. Yung anak niya, member din ng House. Yung pamangkin niya, governor nung bailiwick nila. Tapos yung vice governor, in-law pa nila. And then on the mother side, yung pinsan niya, mayor ng Leyte. So you get what I'm going on.
Yes.
Yan yung tinatawag na Fat Dynasty.
Yeah.
Now, kung papasok na natin yung Constitution dito, let me just clarify. Ang sabi sa Constitution, political dynasties are prohibited, no? As defined by law. Okay? So, meron ba tayong batas na nagdi-define kung ano ang political dynasty?
Wala.
And the answer to that is actually yes.
Meron?
No? Yung SK Reform Act of 2015 has a definition kung ano ang dynasty. So meron siyang, although yung application ng SK law is only for the SK, obviously, di ba? But we can argue, no? Kasi ay nakalagay sa saligang batas as may be defined by law. Right?
Yes, that's right.
We have a law that defines what a political dynasty is or what it entails. And that is the SK
Correct.
Reform Act of 2015. So, on those three fronts, meron na tayong guidance, no? As voters, as citizens, meron na tayong guidance na mapupuntahan. Whether we apply our common sense or we apply the academic definition na widely accepted na ngayon. And also the legal definition which is found in SK Reform Act of 2015.
That's right. Pero
gusto ko yung sinabi niya technical definition at saka common sense perspective.
Pero actually, idikit ko yan now. If you look at histories and the histories of dynasty in China and Europe, the very essence of why the political dynasties are not allowed in our constitution is the two things ang understanding ko is the first is to make sure everyone gets the opportunity to serve in a democracy. So therefore, it defeats the purpose of having a democracy if not anyone can attempt to serve. Number two, the second definition, meaning siguro in government, in our constitution, provides checks and balances. The moment you have a dynasty, nawawala ang isang check and balance sa isang geographical location. So in description mo, although I'm not for political dynasty, but parang the way you described it is yung thin and then yung fat. Parang it matches that of to prevent a family to control a specific geographical area. In essence, kasi if you have three Tulfos in the Senate, the three Tulfos cannot make decisions on their own that will relegate or remove the checks and balances. So, paano ba to? How do we go forward with this, Prof? Medyong, ang daming anggulo.
Oo.
Yeah, you're exactly right, no? So, kung ako tatanungin mo, I would probably apply yung commonsensical definition and also the legal definition using the SK Reform Act of 2015.
Okay.
So, yung academic definition, obviously, that's the purpose of that is trying to understand this phenomenon of dynasties in the Philippines. Kasi very peculiar tayo, Diego, no, ang Pilipinas. Hindi naman unique ang dynasty sa mundo, no?
Yes.
I mean, sabihin, it's part and parcel of democracy. The United States, meron silang mga dynasties din.
Yeah, you have the Kennedys.
SK, South Korea, Japan, marami silang dynasties. Yung tayo ang pinaka-remarkable because of the extent of our dynasties, no? Gaya ng sinabi ko sa iyo, yung pinaliwanag ko kanina.
Yeah.
So, kung ako tatanungin mo, I would probably apply yung commonsensical definition. Like, kung halimbawa, 3 kayong magkakapatid nasa Senado, I mean, it's only common sense that to say na dynasty kayo, di ba? Hindi naman kayo dynasty na regular dynasty. You're already a fat dynasty because sabay-sabay kayong tumatakbo, sabay-sabay kayong naglilingkod. Now, even yung definition ng SK Reform Law, if that will be applied by the voters themselves, yung mga Tulfo brothers, yung Cayetanos, the Villars, they will be disqualified. So, if only voters will apply that definition in the way that they vote, marami na dun sa top 12 na nasa surveys, mawawala. Because they qualify as political dynasties.
So parang ang sinasabi natin dito sa publiko, attorney, titignan natin itong usapin na to sa perspektibo na hindi na usapin yung kung gumagawa ka ng mabuti o nagsiserve ka ng tama sa gobyerno. If you belong to the political dynasty, you belong to the political dynasty at hindi yun tama. Nakaayon sa ating konstitusyon. Tama yun?
Mismo, no? Mismo. And not only that, if I may add, Angela, marami na tayong ebidensya. And importante dito, ebidensya ng experience mismo natin. In fact, kahit mismo yung mga ibang dynasty, sinasabi na masama ang dynasty precisely because of what Diego said. No? Nawawala yung checks and balance. Ibig sabihin, mas ganap ang korupsyon. And now we know, also from the work of my colleagues in the Policy Center of Ateneo School of Government, now we know majority of political dynasties also have, guess what? Construction business. Majority of them are involved in the construction business.
And
almost 60%.
Tama ka doon.
Pero hindi, I was gonna ask nga kay Prof. Na kasi yung pag nag-i-interview kami ngayon ng mga senatorya boss, lagi namin tinatanong sa kanila, how are you going, are you for or against political dynasty? Most of them would say, oo, against, and pag naupo ako, ipapasa ko yung batas na yan, isa sa mga una kong gagawin, ang anti-dynasty bill, blah, 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 blah. The next question would be, how? Because, di ba, yung mga nakakasama mo rin sa Congress or sa Senado ay kinabibilangan, majority sa kanila, kinabibilangan din ng political dynasty.
Tsaka to add to that, Prof, na attorney, kasi ang ginagamit nilang argument, wala naman sa batas yan. But in the I'm sorry, I'm not a lawyer or hindi ako maalam sa mga ganyan. But ang question ko dito is, kung yan ang ginagamit ng scapegoat, pero di ba, first and foremost, the Constitution provides already safeguards. Precisely, kahit walang batas, sinasabi bawal. Ang absent lang dyan yung definition by law. So, hindi ba pwedeng sundin muna nila? If you were really meant to serve the country and if you're really patriotic and you adhere to the Constitution, nakasabi, blanketly, bawal ang dynasty. It doesn't matter kung ano definition, sundin mo. Kasi kung ang laban mo, wala naman ng specific guidelines, there are certain provisions sa Constitution, wala namang guidelines, wag na rin natin sundan yun.
So these are all fair points, no? So I just want to raise two counterpoints, if I may. So the first one goes to Angela's question, na hindi na talaga natin maaasahan ang mga mambabatas natin to enact that law. Yung quote-unquote enabling law na hinihintay na natin for 38 years. No?
Right.
You cannot expect them to kill the goose that lays the golden egg for them, right?
Right.
So, hindi na natin sila maaasahan. Let's accept that. Huwag na tayong umasa na one day, a majority of our lawmakers magbabago, di ba? Wala na yon, okay? The second point goes to Diego's question naman is that you're exactly right. You're 200% right na malinaw na malinaw ang sinasabi ng saligang batas. Huwag natin payagan, mamayagpag ang mga political dynasties. Precisely because of the reason that you said. And also, sabi ng mga drafters, by the way, constitutional drafters natin, yung members ng 1986 Constitutional Commission, sinabi nila, political dynasties breed graft and corruption. So malinaw na yun. So kung ikaw ngayon, tama ka, kung patriot ka, mahal mo yung bansa natin, bakit mo pa iluluklok ang isang dynasty sa pwesto? Kung alam mo na pag pumunta siya sa pwesto, kahit na ba sabihin niya maglilingkod siya sa kapwa niya, kasinungalingan yun, ano? Kasi ang gagawin niya, magnanakaw siya para mapanatili yung sarili nilang pamilya sa pwesto. That is their instinct. So, kung ikaw ngayon ang Pilipino ka ngayon at boboto ka sa May, keep that in mind, di ba? Na malinaw sa ating saligang batas, sinasabi, masama ang mga political dynasties. So, kung ikaw ngayon, mahal mo yung bansa natin, bakit ka pa boboto ng dynastic politician kung alam mo naman masama sila?
Prof, kung ibalik sa'yo yung tanong, sabihin, di ba, na, kung hindi kami, sino? Wala namang pwedeng pumalit sa amin di ba? Parang ganun.
Well, that is the question that must be answered by civil society. No? That's why, tama yung sinasabi ko kanina sa first point na huwag na tayo maghintay ng batas kasi hindi na darating yun. No? We have to find our own way now as citizens. We have to find our own way to end the domination of dynasties. So baka we should enact the law itself through people's initiative. Baka that's one option. Or we should support more non-dynastic candidates.
Yeah.
Meron mga dalawa dyan ngayon na tumatakbo. I just read in Facebook, meron isa sa Bicol na non-dynasty na tumatakbo, beat the dynasties there, and the municipality or the city that where they're at is now flourishing under a non-dynastic mayor. So maybe we should highlight more of those kinds of leaders para talagang
ang problema kasi, Prof, yung iba walang machinery Kahit the rightful ones, ang problema, yun hindi nila malabanan yung machinery ng mga
Linawin mo na lang, walang pera.
Oo.
Wala silang pera tulad ng dynasty.
Can you imagine, Prof, dito, nakalagay dito sa report ng Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, sabi nila, 113 out of 149 Philippine cities are ruled by political dynasties. Ganon kalaki.
So maybe just to counter that, kasi yan naman ang prevailing view. Kahit ako minsan naisip ko yan na kapag talagang kalaban mo makinarya, wala kang laban. But siguro lang just to give a hint of hope na meron pa, we can look at the examples of Mayor Ben Magalong of Baguio City and also Mayor Vico Soto of Pasig City. Hindi rin naman sila tumakbo on the basis of machinery. In fact, ang kalaban nila matitindi sa makinarya, but they won. No? So, merong paraan na matalo mo ang makinarya.
Breaking the norm, kumbaga.
Right? But, you have to, first of all, you have to know how. And meron na tayong mga halimbawa na pwedeng tignan. Si Mayor Ben Magalong ng Baguio City and si Mayor Vico Soto ng Pasig City. Pwede tayong matuto sa kanila.
Ay, nako.
Alright, sige. Abangan na lang natin kung magbabago nga yan. Pero as your word, sabi mo walang magbabago. But for the meantime, maraming salamat, Attorney Michael Yusinko.